So there's many different types of loan types, and now we want to talk a little bit about terms. There are 30-year terms as well as 15-year terms. And I'm going to walk you through what Money Mailbox thinks about these terms. So when we look at different durations and terms, we have 15-year and 30-year. We recommend at Money Mailbox going with a 30-year term. The reason being is because your payments will be lower because we're not squeezing all your payments into 15 years. We're stretching it out over a 30-year term, in which case your payments will be lower. That allows for less monthly stress in making these payments, which also allows us to have more cash flow on our houses. And every 4 or 5 years of owning a home within Money Mailbox, we'll get into this in the advanced course, we like to refinance our houses anyways. So to put something on a 15-year note just to refinance it 5 years later doesn't make any sense. So we'll get into that in the more advanced course, but just know for generality, we like to go with a 30-year term on these. Another reason is when you go on a 15-year term, your payment's a lot higher. And what I like to relate this to is Monopoly. So within Monopoly, the goal of Monopoly is to get a bunch of properties and run the board, right? I'm a big advocate of getting base hits. I don't need a home run every single time. I need consistent base hits. And so in order to get base hits within real estate, doing a 30-year term allows for lower overhead each and every month, more cash flow, and we can pepper the board better and get more red houses on the Monopoly board as opposed to just getting a couple big apartment complexes in which we can eventually use our red houses in order to get those larger units. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about is fixed and variable interest rates. Just know in general terms, you want to get a fixed interest rate so it's not variable based on the market. Now, Money Mailbox's favorite strategy is using a primary residence loan, doing 3.5% or 5% down payment. And the reason why we want to do that is because it gives you a lot of options. We get into a property for a lot cheaper. We have 6 months of reserves that we want to try and recoup. So if we're not putting down a ton of money, it might give us a little bit of a leg up to start to generate those 6 months of reserves, as well as it gives us a little bit of flexibility to fix up the property in which we can add light fixtures or flooring or paint, things of that nature. So note, if you're gonna put down a 20% down payment, just know you're gonna have a higher barrier to entry to get into it. You're not probably gonna have any money left over as far as setting up your reserves. And then as far as forcing up equity in the house and fixing up a couple things and cosmetically boosting the equity of your house, you're probably not gonna have as much flexibility, in which case we prefer the Money Mailbox method of doing a leaner down payment. So why our strategy? Well, it's just like a track athlete. We wanna feel lean, agile, healthy, and well-equipped to go the distance. We're not just doing real estate for a couple of years. This is a lifestyle of investing in real estate. And we wanna make sure that we're taking the precautions to build out these houses with a lot of reserves, a good amount of cash flow, and feel like we're agile in doing it throughout the process. Another key thing of why certain investors are really good is they'll buy a house and they'll fix it up a little bit, but in the process, they're already thinking about the next house that they're trying to purchase. So in this instance of putting a lower down payment down, we are a little bit more agile to start focusing on property number 2 and property number 3 and property number 4. Think of yourself as a quarterback looking downfield. That's where we want to be, eyes on the horizon, and how to acquire more real estate. Thank you so much for watching this segment of Money Mailbox where we talked about down payment strategy. And now that you understand in general terms what type of loans are out there and what type of loans that Money Mailbox really likes, I want to make sure that you join us for our next video segment where we talk about preparing for your loan and how to collect the documents that you need in order to bring to the table to get pre-approved, pre-qualified, and in essence, write your ticket to slap down on a piece of real estate. We'll catch you in the next video.